Hey guys, how you doing? Dave Moore here. Just wanted to make a video. I'm not sure how quick it's going to be, but I wanted to make a video on the benefits of being a left-handed shooter. Now I know a lot of you right-handed people are out there shaking your head and yelling at your computer screen, but hear me out. Number one, most of us left-handed people have more experience or are more apt to be ambidextrous than right-handed people. And the reason why is when we were kids growing up, most of our parents were right-handed. So we kind of leaned towards the left, but our parents taught us to do things and kind of forced us to do things right-handed. Example, I golf right-handed. Well, actually I don't golf, but I swing a golf club right-handed. The reason being is, well, number one, left-handed golf clubs are like the unicorn of the sporting industry. But my dad is right-handed, so when I was a kid and he'd teach me to golf, he had no idea how to teach me left-handed. Plus he wanted me to use his clubs because, number one, didn't have to buy them. So I was taught to golf right-handed, and to this day I golf right-handed. Another example is baseball. When I played baseball as a kid, I played for 16 years, all the way up until a hot stove travel ball. I predominantly batted right-handed. Once again, my dad was right-handed, so he taught me to bat right-handed. But I've always been left-handed at this time. When I started getting up into the higher leagues, hot stove, travel ball, we started to travel out of state for baseball, we kind of decided that maybe I should switch it. Left-handed pitcher, you bat right-handed, right-handed pitcher, you bat left-handed. And it takes away that curveball, which is true, and it worked out. But at first I'm thinking, well, no, this is how I bat. Well then, within a week or two, I ended up picking up batting left-handed because I'm left-handed. So I'm supposed to bat left-handed, and it just kind of came very, very natural. So technically batting right-handed was weird for me. But, so, I mean, predominantly batting right-handed, I picked up batting left-handed very easily. So this kind of shows you an example of how left-handed people were kind of forced to do things right-handed, even though we are left side strong. So most of us are going to have more of an aptitude for being ambidextrous. Another example, I was watching OpCom, and there's a guy, Solo Defense, Aaron from Solo Defense, he is left-handed. Somebody asked him, well, how do you teach right-handed people to shoot if you shoot left-handed? And he said, don't worry, I can shoot right-handed too. And that kind of goes with me also. Being predominantly mostly left-handed or strong side left, when I was a kid I was kind of taught to shoot right-handed at first. So I have experience shooting right-handed. So having been forced to use my right hand a little more throughout my life makes me more apt, like I keep saying, to be ambidextrous. When I shoot right-handed, it is not that weird. It is a little weird, but it's not as weird as watching somebody who's right-handed shoot left-handed. When I do it, like left-handed, strong, right-handed, it doesn't feel extremely off. It feels pretty much the same. I have no trouble. Plus I'm right eye dominant, so shooting right-handed, technically I should be a little more accurate. So once again, left-handed people are better with their right hand than right-handed people are better with their left hand. So enough of that, I'm going to move on to each gun. And this is my opinion. So if you're right-handed, you're probably going to be screaming at me, saying I'm wrong, saying I'm dumb, leaving a mean comment. That's fine, but this is my opinion on why being a left-handed is a little bit better than being right-handed in some aspects. So, pistol, number one. See where the breech is? See how the right side of the gun is open? That makes it easier to identify problems in your chamber. If you have a double feed, you have some type of problem, or it is empty, when you tilt that gun up, you can see this whole area in there. If you're right-handed, you tilt that gun up, you can only see directly down into it. So being left-handed gives you a better view of the chamber. Another thing is the mag release. Most of us, before these ambi mag releases came out, were used to using our middle finger to drop that mag release. So it's kind of ingrained in us. So now with an ambi mag release, it's easier, obviously. But if we were to grab a right-handed gun, it wouldn't be that hard. It pretty much would come natural as long as you had trained, like as a kid and shit, to use your middle finger for the right-handed mag release. One other thing is the slide lock, slide release. Now, this mainly applies to the ghosting bullet forward slide lock, slide release, but it is transferable. Saying that, what I mean is, when you keep your finger off the trigger, like you're supposed to, and up on the slide, especially if you're in a class, my finger is resting on that slide release. Now, when I go to reload, the force of this magazine going in, the upward force, and then the force of my finger being on this mag release, does this. Causes it to go, and there's a round in the chamber. So, how easy was that? Let's do it again, shall we? So you're at slide lock, and you're good to go. So, if your gun doesn't go into battery when you slap that mag in, well, if you're left-handed and you do that method, it will. And as long as you do it properly, it will not fall forward early. You always get a loaded gun, which for the most part is what happens to me. Another thing along those same lines is locking the slide to the rear. Fingers off the trigger like it's supposed to be. Slide locks to the rear. Locks to the rear. And really, if you're right-handed, I forgot to mention this, if you're right-handed, releasing the slide with your thumb like you're supposed to, a lot of people can't do that because your thumb can't reach, or your thumb's not strong enough, your hands are too small, whatever. So that comes kind of hard and you have to power stroke it. But being left-handed, your finger is always going to be long enough. That's just how it is. Locking the slide to the rear if you're right-handed. If your thumb's not long enough or it's too awkward, locking it to the rear is going to be weird. But if you're left-handed and you just put your finger here, easy as that. No problems whatsoever. And no, I've never had the gun slide locked back while shooting. That's never happened to me, so it's not an issue. That's really it for the handgun. Moving on, we'll go to rifle. Now the rifle, it brings it back to that same thing. Where's that chamber at? Oh, it's in my face. So you see those right-handed people all the time. They're shooting, then they do the little flip thing. Well, that's because they're checking the chamber for any problems or bolt lock. Then they're turning the gun back to do a reload. Well, if you're left-handed and you're shooting, I'm on my red dot problem, I just look down and I can see the starfish in there. I can see it. So look down. Oh, it's a double feed. Address it like that. Oh, it's empty. Reload it. So once again, that chamber's right there. I can see it perfectly. Moving on. Safeties. Most of us left-handed people on a rifle are used to doing this with the safety. So that's not a problem. Ambi safeties, which most people have, just makes it that much easier. So most of us can get away with doing this, no problem. I did it for about a year or so. But if it's ambi, then it's easy. I mean, it's just as easy as if you're right-handed. And whether you're left or right-handed, you should have a ambi safety. The last thing really is this ping pong paddle here. Now this does not include if you have a bad lever. But for most people who just have the ping pong paddle, if you're right-handed, you have to put the mag in and hit that ping pong paddle. So you kind of have to do it or use your hand. It seems to me kind of awkward. Well, if you're left-handed, you just have to push it. So you keep it up and you can just hit it, no problem. So to me, that is a benefit. One other thing I forgot, stripping the mag. Most of my military friends, private contractor friends, they strip the mag and they put it in their dump pouch. They don't let them hit the floor. They hold on to their mags. So in that aspect, I believe being left-handed gives you an easier way to strip that mag, because it can be done with one hand, all in one motion. So to me, that is a benefit. This last one here, the shotgun. Now, I don't care what you say, I don't care who you are, the shotgun is a left-handed weapon. Hands down. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you say, it's a left-handed weapon. With the exception, possibly, of the Remington 870, with the safety. And if that safety cannot be switched around, it's going to be kind of hard for a left-hander, but it can be done. But when I run a shotgun, I don't use the safety anyway. So at least when I store it. Never taken a shotgun class with it, which I would have to use the safety more, but I digress. Mossberg, which is what I prefer in the shotgun for ease of reload, has that safety right there, which makes it handy right off the bat. Shotgun, if it's not obvious, I'll explain it to you. You're shooting, obviously, open it up, what can you see? You can see that chamber perfectly. Now, this comes into doing reloads. When you do a reload, you always want to make sure you put one in the chamber and then have that action forward first. So if you're right-handed, what you have to do is you're shooting, you have to tilt the gun like this, which can get kind of heavy. You have to drop in your shell of whatever choice, and you have to awkwardly put that action forward like that. So you're kind of working over top of the gun, and the gun gets heavy. So that's just awkward, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, if you're left-handed, to do that, you have it locked up here, you drop one in, natural motion forward, just like you normally would, and then you feed it. So that right there is just obvious of how left-handers have the advantage. Reloading. Imagine there's a shell carrier here. Or visually see a shell carrier here. I'm not going to put live rounds in. But when you're left-handed and you're reloading, I can see the shells and I can see inside of the magazine tube. So I can see everything right there. Or you open it up, you just drop it right in. You can even toss it up and catch it if you're good. So put this back. Reloading, easy to grab from the bottom here, then into the gun. If you're right-handed and you've already put your action forward and you're here, well now your shells are blocking your view of the magazine tube. So you have to blindly kind of hope that you get it in there. So just a benefit of being left-handed on the shotgun. That's all I can really think of with that. But if it's not obvious, come on. If it's not obvious, the shotgun is clearly a left-handed gun. Take a clone of person A. So you have person A and person A. They're both identical. One's left-handed, one's right-handed. I can guarantee you that left-handed person will be better with a shotgun than the right-handed person. Hands down. It's just obvious. The shotgun is a left-handed firearm, with the exception of the safety, which can be changed, I imagine. If not, get a Mossberg. That's what I like. Mossberg is easier to reload because there is no gate in the magazine tube. But that's really it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything in my notes. But the benefits of being left-handed are there. So if you are left-handed, don't feel down. Just understand that you have a little better skill than most of your right-handed counterparts. Just go to the range and have your right-handed friend shoot left-handed. And then if you shoot right-handed and you're kind of raised like me, it's going to be so much easier and it's going to look so much better than some right-handed person shooting left-handed. That's just how it is. So I'm going to end this here because I don't want this video to go on too long. I'm wearing my Berant shirt, Beront. He was kind enough to send me this. It says, "Shut up and shoot." Real soft, real nice fit, makes me feel like a badass. I believe he has a website, I believe it's Berant.com, Bearont.com, but I'm not sure. But on Instagram, he is Berant, Bearont, and I am Dave Moore. Make sure to stop by Squared Away Surplus for our grunt style sale. We're having all grunt style shirts are $15. So make sure you go and you buy a few of those. Collect them all because they're so cheap. But until next time, keep shooting.